Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well and thanks for being here. This video is for the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is on the 7th of September, so it's tomorrow. I have left it a little bit late this time, and as I'm recording, my kids are playing outside, so it's quite noisy. I've got a bit of interference coming that way, but I'll try and stay focused and I'll try to record. I think this microphone's pretty good at taking the noise out, so hopefully you won't get too much noise coming through. But getting back to this, so this is an eclipse video, so it's obviously eclipse season again. Now, eclipses can lead to big changes. This one is a North Node eclipse, so we would expect it to bring new things in. Whereas with South Node eclipses, we tend to think about things being removed from our lives. And eclipses are associated with initiations, so the impacts of an eclipse can actually play out over months or even longer sometimes. We'll go through this video just the way we normally do. So I usually start with a brief look at the astrology chart, and then we'll do the tarot spread for this lunar event. Now, I can often see a connection between the astrology and the tarot, but if you're not interested in the astrology at all, just feel free to skip through to the tarot section. The timestamps for each section are in the description box. Before we start, we'll just do our love pause as we normally do. So this is where we pause the video, send some love out into the universe. We can do this also as a Ho'oponopono prayer, which is to say the 4 sentences. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, and please forgive me. So thanks to everyone who does the pause. And so we'll pause now and I'll see you all on the next slide. All right, so this here is the astrology chart for this lunar eclipse. Now, the last month, the Aquarius full moon last month, it had a lot happening on that chart, and this chart looks a lot simpler in comparison, but this is an eclipse, so I'm going to assume that it will be impactful. If you have access to your birth chart, you might just want to check out which astrological house or houses are related to that 15-degree point of Pisces. So have a look at that. The full moon axis, I've highlighted it in purple here. So we've got the sun in Virgo on the right side of the chart and the moon in Pisces on the left side of the chart. And as I said, these are at 15 degrees and they're close to the nodal axis, which is at 18 degrees in those same signs. So we've got the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. Now, the ruler of Pisces is Neptune, which is currently at 1 degree of Aries, so it hasn't quite crossed back into Pisces, but Saturn actually has on this chart. So those two planets, they are conjunct. They're just now in different signs. They're both retrograde as well. I've shown them on this chart at around 9 o'clock, so they're highlighted together there. And they're still in that configuration, that minor grand trine with the other outer planets. So we've got Pluto retrograde in Aquarius at about 11 o'clock and Uranus retrograde in Gemini at about 7 o'clock. So that's my configuration that I tend to see as all of these outer planets being in cahoots. So they've got some kind of cosmic plan for the collective that they're all in on, and they're working together. And as outer planets, they're obviously more powerful than personal planets. So they're the ones that will get their way, really. And the other planet... Sorry, I had to pause the video there. I think my dog's demanding a walk now, even though we were planning to go a bit later. So that's more interference. So I do feel like this might be one of those videos where there's going to be a lot of interference things happening to kind of stop the progress of it. So I'll just keep going. I'll just pause as I go if things come along. But sometimes you get these videos where it's almost like the message is there's external energies trying to block the message kind of thing. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that there's the other planet that's interesting in this chart is Jupiter. It's highlighted in yellow and it has a few aspects here, including aspects to the eclipse. So Jupiter here is trining the full moon and the North Node, and that's interesting because Jupiter was actually the ancient ruler of Pisces, and so it's still considered a co-ruler of Pisces. Sorry, I had to pause again, my dog again. But Jupiter is still considered a co-ruler of Pisces, so that's quite significant. Now, Jupiter is a benefic planet. It's in a trine, so that's a favorable aspect. So it's going to be amplifying the eclipse energies, and it's actually a planet we associate with good luck. So I'm seeing that as really positive. Jupiter, it's also in Cancer at the moment, which is the sign that it's exalted in. So it's really operating optimally where it is. So that's all looking quite good. You might want to check out what house Cancer is in your chart as well. That might be interesting. Now, it's not drawn on this chart, but I'm also seeing that Lilith in Scorpio would actually complete a water grand trine. So that would be the full moon and the North Node in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer, and Lilith in Scorpio. Now, Lilith in Scorpio is an intense placement, but I guess Lilith is that kind of energy anyway. It's related to freedom, liberation, not conforming, things like that. So being wild and free. So I guess that's an interesting aspect to the eclipse because, we do expect some intensity with eclipses anyway, but maybe there's this desire within us to be wild and free and to follow whatever it is that we want to be following. So that's interesting. Now, Jupiter has got another aspect that's a square to Mars in Libra. I've highlighted Mars in Libra in red, so that's a tense aspect. Now, Mars is actually in its detriment in Libra, and that's it's because of the energies of Libra. Libra is very balanced and harmonious, so it's not naturally going to support the fiery, aggressive energy of Mars. So Mars is, not strong in Libra, and Jupiter on the other side of the square is exalted in Cancer. So it's almost like, one's where it wants to be and the other one's not exactly where it's going to function super well. So that almost feels like the Mars impact in the square is a bit sort of muffled really. So that's interesting. Now that's really what all that I'm seeing on this chart. So I'm expecting there will be something impactful in the Pisces ruled part of your chart, and we've got Jupiter and Lilith involved with that. Now Jupiter's involvement is interesting to me. Like I said before, it's a benefic planet, it has rulership over Pisces, and it's in a favorable aspect. So like I said, Jupiter is associated with good luck, so maybe there's something fortunate that might play into this eclipse as well. So it will be interesting. We'll just go ahead and look at the tarot spread and see what that gives us. Right, so this is the spread we've got for this full moon, and the decks I've used will be listed in the description box. I quite like the when we get these lunar events in water signs, because I do pull out my water themed decks and it's kind of fun. But anyway, I'll get started with the bottom of the deck energy. I'm actually surprised not to see the Wheel of Fortune card because I was feeling Jupiter quite strongly in the astrology section. I guess there might be a different message that's coming through here. It's also interesting to see a lot of, like, basically all three of the main tarot cards are in the suit of wands, which is fire sign energy. So there's something to do with passion in this. It's quite a strong vibe there, isn't it? We've even got the passion card, the Ace of Wands, right in the middle. So interesting. We'll see where this goes. Now, the card at the bottom of the deck is the Fool, which is the Uranus card, and it's someone who's in a carefree energy. They don't really have any formal plans. They're just someone who's engaging with life, seeing where it will take them. And as I was saying that, I actually just had a leap of faith come through clairaudiently. So this is someone who has taken a leap of faith, or they're going to. Now, a leap of faith is obviously about making a decision or making decisions or taking actions that really aren't supported by the physical reality that we're in. So it might be something where we're doing something that, our families or social circle wouldn't approve of, or we're doing something where there's no guarantee of safety or security. So this might be like moving to another country or city where you don't know anyone and you have no idea how you'll get by when you're over there. This might be like starting a new business and having no idea if it will do well, but you would hope it does well enough for you to get by. So it's that it's that thing where you just trusting the universe and believing that if you're doing your best, the universe is going to take care of the rest. I also just got the words trustful, and that's not an expression I've used before, but I think there's a Pink song called Trustful, so maybe that's significant for someone who's watching, or maybe the lyrics of that song might be relevant in some way. So if you feel guided to, just go and check that one out. I don't actually know that song all that well, so all I can really think about is the main line. It's a trustful baby. But yeah, see how you go. If you feel guided to check that song out, and there might be a message there for you. Now, in terms of the astrology, this is, as I said, the full card is the Uranus card, and Uranus has gone retrograde. So maybe there's going to be some internal shift that pushes us to take a leap of faith. Now, Uranus is very dynamic, very instantaneous, so it can be quite sudden, quite unexpected if there is something that happens there. Now, the card in the past position, we're heading into all these Wands cards, but the card in the past position is the Seven of Wands, which is about standing up for what matters to you and standing up to opposition. So this deck, by the way, is the Tempest Tarot, and it's really beautiful, but because I only pull cards, I probably am not showing it off as well as other readers might. We might have to do another reading with it again. But if you like the look of what you've got here, do check this deck out. It's very pretty. But a tempest is a storm, and I think there was actually a Shakespeare play called The Tempest. Again, I'm not that familiar with that one, so I don't really know what the storyline is. But maybe that's for someone else out there. So maybe if you feel guided to, you might want to just see what the plot of that play was. And now I just got another clairaudient message. I got the phrase storm in a teacup. So that's actually quite funny. I think Spirit is trying to tell me that this Seven of Wands energy was like a storm in a teacup. So in this image, we see this person looking out through his telescope, and his attention is fixed on whatever he's looking at. And then there are all these other people in the scene who are wavingly, they're wavingly, they're erratically waving their own telescopes around. So a storm in a teacup is meaning that these people really have no reason to be in this flap that they're in, because this person hasn't done anything to them. They've just found something that they're interested in. So this is a sailor in this image, and I think what's going on here is he's worked out where he wants to go. And in the full card, we've got that little boat that's heading off somewhere. So I feel like this sailor has seen where he wants to go, and he's just going to get in his little boat and go. He's certainly not forcing anyone to go with him or do anything that they don't want to do. So really all of those people could have just said, oh, okay, he wants to go somewhere, but that's okay. We can still keep doing our thing. But instead of doing that, they've all decided to start flapping and making a fuss. And see how they all have their own telescopes, but they're not actually using them. They're not looking for where they want to go. And people are like this, aren't they? They could focus on their own lives and work out where they want to go and move in that direction. But some people just don't do that. They just get mad at the people who are inspired and motivated and want to accomplish things. So I feel like these people just need to pipe down and use the telescope that they've been given. So that's our storm in a teacup. But anyway, I guess what we're looking at in the past position is this is someone who's had to deal with this kind of nonsense from other people. And it's just like a ruckus to me looking at that scene. But I like that he's not actually paying them any attention at all. I think he's just focused on what he's seeing. And look at what he's seeing. He's seeing the Ace of Wands. So that would be hard to ignore, right? The Ace of Wands, like I said, it's the passion card. It's the card of something that is captivating. It's something that you fall in love with, something that, you'll have to go after because it's the thing, It's something that inspires your passion, makes you feel alive. So I guess this person doesn't give a fig about how these other people are reacting. This person's only thinking, oh, wow, this is my path, or this is my person, or this is my purpose. The Ace of Wands has shown them that staying where they are with this people is not really what they want, and it's not really what they're meant to be doing. So this is like they've been offered the opportunity to have a passionate new beginning, and they don't want to miss it. Now, I see the aces as cardinal energy. So this would be cardinal fire, and that's Aries energy. So we do have Neptune still in Aries, and that's the ruler of this lunar eclipse. So that might be where all this fire is coming from. Now, the third card here is the Knight of Wands, and it looks like the same character as in the Seven of Wands card, and he's still looking through his telescope at the Ace of Wands. So this is obviously some kind of enduring passion, maybe. But this card is a bit weird because we normally see the Knight of Wands moving on a horse, but this particular Knight of Wands looks like he's standing on a building, so he's not even on the water here. That's kind of a weird image because the Knight of Wands is someone who takes action towards what he's inspired by, which is the message in that Ace of Wands. Now, if he's not traveling, that would probably mean he's already got there, and he's standing on a building, so that suggests some sort of stability, like he has got to where he wants to be, and he's found a place, he's settled. But he's looking back, and I'm not sure what that means. Maybe this is someone who's reflecting on the past or reflecting on how far he's come since he started his journey. I have to admit, I'm not entirely sure why he's looking back. So maybe there's something that's happening that relates to the past. He's obviously quite far away from all of that now because he's looking at it through his telescope. But maybe there's something that happened that relates to that storm in a teacup situation. I'm going to take a look at the oracle cards. I hope they will clear things up a little bit, but we'll see. And if I have to, I'll go pull some more cards, I guess, for clarifiers. But the first oracle card here is titled The Saltwater Sisters, and there are two mermaids on it. I'm actually drawn to the moon on this card. We're obviously doing a full moon reading, but it's making me think of the moon card, which is actually the Pisces card in the tarot. Now, the moon card is about shadows, fears, illusions, things that play out subconsciously. Now, with the storyline we have here, maybe this sisterhood that we're being shown isn't exactly what it might have looked like. So maybe this is suggesting that those past people are really quite karmic connections in terms of what they were, and maybe this person didn't realize it at the time, but they're maybe gaining some clarity on that now, because obviously full moons are also a time of illumination and clarity. So maybe they're seeing things now that they didn't see before. I actually just had a look at the guidebook for this card as well, because I wasn't sure if there was more to this message about the saltwater sisters. But the guidebook was mostly talking about using salt for its cleansing and purifying effects. I know a lot of people do use salt for cleansing and protection rituals. I don't know if that's suggesting this person needs to do something to protect themselves from the energies of these past connections. I'm just getting a sense of karmic connection. So maybe they need to cut energetic cords and purify and protect their energy and maybe their space or their home. Now, if this particular thing about past people is resonating for you, maybe there is something you can do with salt or salt water at this Pisces full moon that will be beneficial for you. Might be something to look into. Maybe you could salt spritz your home or put a little bit of salt at the doors to your home. I'm definitely not an expert on these things, but the internet is. So maybe go Googling, guys, and see what comes up. Now, the next card here is titled Set Your Sights Higher. So the mermaid on this card is reaching for the star that's calling to her. So that's very reminiscent of that tarot message of someone who was drawn in by the Ace of Wands. So maybe one of these mermaid sisters, you're one of these mermaid sisters, and you were pulled towards something else, and you had to leave your past behind in order to pursue it. And perhaps that was perceived as a betrayal by this other mermaid sister or the rest of the mermaids. Geez, the kids just slammed the door. My God, the level of noise for this reading is crazy. Anyway, I'll keep going and hopefully we'll get this finished, hey? Now, if we're talking about the people on the boat, I guess this person deciding to hop off the big boat and get on their little boat to go somewhere else, maybe that was seen as a betrayal as well. It seems like that kind of storyline here. But it's actually quite ridiculous, isn't it? Because people have free will. They don't have to stay anywhere forever. Even people who are married have free will. They can choose to separate or divorce. And really, that's the only contract, marriage, that people enter into with the intention of it being forever. So if married people can separate and move on, then there's no reason for these other people to be expecting this person to stay with them forever. That's a bit crazy. So I guess it sounds like these past people couldn't deal with this person moving away, and that sounds like an unhealthy attachment of some kind. I hate to say it, but I'm actually feeling like a bit of a devil energy feeling now. So I guess I do tend to associate devil energy to toxic attachments and obsession and door slammed again. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how much of this is transmitting through the microphone. But anyway, I'm getting a sense of devil energy, and maybe that's why we've had this message about protection rituals coming up, and maybe that's why I'm getting so much interference trying to record this. The devil doesn't let people go easily, so I think these karmic people might be the kind of people that won't let go. And so even if this person ends up far, far away, maybe there's still like evil eye or energetic attacks. And I just thought of like moon magic. So maybe we're talking about witches or something, because we did have salt water for protection, which is probably a witchy thing to do, isn't it? So maybe these people are into moon rituals or something. Gah, that sounds crazy creepy, doesn't it? Anyway, if this is sounding like it's possible based on the people you've known in the past, then definitely do that salt thing, and maybe also pray for protection against spell work or energetic psychic attacks. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing and nobody that's more powerful than God. So if you're praying for God's protection against other people's evil intentions, you will be protected. You can say the words, "No weapon formed against me will prosper." Geez, that was a crazy thing to channel, guys. So I'm sorry, but I guess this kind of stuff does happen. There's definitely no shortage of low vibrational weirdos in the world. Wouldn't life just be wonderful if people just focused on making their own lives better instead of going after other people? Ugh, these people. Anyway, the message here, I think, is that you might need to do something to protect yourself at this time. The message on this card is increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Well, I guess if these are the kinds of people that you've dealt with in the past, you can certainly do better. I'm thinking it's a blessing. If this is you and you've moved on, I'm thinking it's a blessing that you've left. So the message here is saying that if you're this person or whoever this person is, they need to aim higher when it comes to the connections they make in the future. Yeah, they should definitely stay away from low vibrational people. Yikes, honestly. Now the last card here is feelings, and wow, this card is also a match to the tarot cards because this mermaid is also looking backwards, just like that Knight of Wands is looking backwards. So yeah, this is I feel like these cards are matching really well with the tarot messages, but I guess this mermaid is looking back to the past that she shared with her mermaid sister or the other mermaids. Now, full moons are, like I said, they're associated with things being illuminated. So maybe there's some clarity now about the past, and that's going to bring up some feelings that need to be processed. And I guess even if these are karmic connections, from this person's perspective, they probably had genuine feelings for these people. So unfortunately, guys, I think this is the tarot message for this lunar eclipse. So protect yourself from the karmics of the past. And that's actually quite a South Nodey kind of message to come through, isn't it? The astrology itself felt quite positive to me because it was a North Node eclipse with the benefic influence of Jupiter. So maybe there is something positive that's going to be happening or meant to be happening. And these past people, maybe they're going all out to block that or reverse the good luck, or they're wishing bad things for this person instead. I mean, if we were talking about moon rituals, that's really nuts, isn't it? That's going to extreme measures to influence things. And anyway. I'm going to say it again. Pray for your protection. Do your own protection rituals. You might want to say, I claim all the blessings that are meant for me. I know some people say that they ask for bad intentions to be returned to sender. I don't personally do that, but I honestly think that if you've protected yourself, those negative intentions probably do go back to sender. They've got to go somewhere, I guess. So if they're coming towards you and they hit your protective barriers, they're going to bounce off and probably bounce back in the direction they came from. So maybe that's another protective thing you can do. You can visualize yourself sort of shielded by a protective bubble, and visualize that anything that hits your bubble just bounces off and you're always safe inside that bubble and nothing can touch you. So that would be a good visualization, I think. And that's it, guys. All the best. Stay safe. As far as I'm concerned, there's always karma for the negative things people do. So if someone's trying to attack you for no reason, there's going to be consequences for that. And really, if this is the story, like, you didn't do anything to them if all you did was move away to follow your own path. That's not a betrayal. These people didn't own you. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if it was the other way around and they'd been pulled towards something that they were absolutely captivated by, it's not like they would have turned away and said, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm staying on this boat with my people. Really? Like, if you've always wanted to be a movie star and there was an audition for an amazing role in a movie, you wouldn't go to that audition or accept that role because, oh no, that would be a betrayal to your friends and family. Like, seriously, that is complete bullshit, isn't it? Sorry, I shouldn't have sworn. Complete BS. Sorry, bleep. But let's face it, if these people really loved you, they'd be happy that you got the chance to do something that you love. They'd be happy for you, right? So I feel like this theme came up in the last reading, video I did as well, the For Somebody reading. So maybe that's in the energies right now. We had that message here about having higher standards and not settling. That came from that middle card. So yeah, don't settle for people who can't be happy for you when good things happen in your life. Find people who will be happy to see you happy, people who will celebrate with you when good things happen. They're the kind of people you should be around, certainly not these jealous, insecure, clingy kinds of people. So if people get upset because you're doing something that makes you happy, I would see that as a red flag in some ways. And if any of those kinds of people are watching this, they need to realize that God has given them a telescope as well. I mean, look at that picture. They've all got a telescope. So they're welcome to find what they want to do with their life and actually do it. And that would be a positive thing for them to do with their time and energy instead of wasting it on, spiteful, malicious behavior towards other people. And really, even if they didn't know where they wanted to go or what they wanted to do, they could just go learn a new hobby, learn something new, and that would be a positive thing to do with their time and energy, and it might actually lead them in a new direction. I don't even know if being told any of that will make any difference to those people, because I just don't know how these toxic karmic people even think. Like, if I'm being honest, sometimes I have to tell myself they've got some kind of demonic attachment or something that's making them behave the way that they do, because they clearly don't seem to see that they're in the wrong with the way they're acting. So anyway, I could go on, but this is the end of the reading. I'll just stop it here. I definitely wasn't expecting this message from the tarot, but I guess Spirit wants to make us aware that there might be some attempts by these people at this full moon and that we might need to take some steps to protect ourselves. And just the way this reading's come out, I'm looking back at all the attempts to interfere with it and block it, and it's almost like these energies don't even want that protection message to come out. So anyway, it's done now. I've recorded the message, so that's good. And that's it for this video. I hope it was, I won't say enjoyable, that wasn't a nice message, but I hope you found it good. If you are still here, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Please give it a like or leave a comment if you feel guided to. If you like my work, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support would be greatly appreciated, and thanks to everyone who's already subscribed. Take care, everyone. Obviously, protection is important this time around, so stay protected, and I hope that I'll see you all again in another video. Bye.